What's going on, people? It's your boy Enoch. My man Ak in the building. You ready to do this thing, man?
Let's do it.
Well, you clicked on this, so you have to watch this. And what you're watching is the Blood Brothers podcast. Let's go. Welcome back to the Blood Brothers podcast, everybody. Y'all know how we like to do it. Let's bow our heads. Father in heaven, thank you for this day. Thank you for this moment. Use us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
A to the men.
What it do, man? What's the mission, brother?
The mission remains the same. Consistent. Empowering men to become leaders in society under God's laws.
Okay.
Consequently, men, women, and children will understand the foundations of a real man. Shouts out to God. Shouts out to me and you, my brother.
Yes, sir. One thing that I think is very important as a man,
Okay.
if you want to prosper in life,
Okay.
if you want to have things lined up and not be worried about what direction you're going to go, there's some things that you need.
Okay.
And I don't think people know the difference. So I think we should break this down. Having sight versus vision.
Okay.
I think it may seem the same having sight and vision, but there's a huge difference that I think will propel people into the direction they want to go in life.
I could understand that. Just allowing people to think about sight and vision. It's the dynamics of it. So a person who has sight might not have vision, but a person who has vision will always have sight.
Break that down.
So you think about it like this. Yeah, I can see you. Cool. My eyes work.
Yeah.
Vision comes from the soul, comes from the mind.
Yeah.
It's rooted in purpose. So as long as I can have that, I'll always be able to see. But all because you can see people doesn't mean that you actually have a vision for the future. You could just be looking at what's now, and that's usually no offense, or if you get offended, whatever. That's just usually followers. So yeah, it's definitely a big difference though.
I think a key that people don't understand vision, sight is in its plainest form what I can see right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I see this happen. All right. And you don't go past that.
Yep.
Vision, it's not only seeing the future, it's preparation for the future. So if I have a vision, let's say I have a vision that I want my family to be in a 10-acre home with a farm or whatever. I have that vision.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, for that vision to come playing, there's some steps and things I need to do. So because I have the vision, now I have to put into practice what is going to take me to that position or to that vision that I see for my family.
Yeah.
I have to do the right things. Now, if I see sight, I see, okay, we live in, let's say, an apartment. Okay, this is all we have right now. We just live in an apartment. All I'm worried is about the next payment, the next rent.
Yeah.
That's all that's on your mind. But if you have vision, you see, okay, this is what I want. You're going to push more to do the things that's going to get you to that point.
True. So in retrospect, the currency between, and I'm going to say vision first because sight is secondary to vision, but the currency in between the two is faith, right? The things that you're speaking of, you're not going to take the steps unless you have faith that it's going to happen.
That's a fact.
Through the transition, your sight could get blurry, meaning you could be like, man, I had this vision opening a business. I had this thought of like doing something phenomenal.
Yeah.
And just because your sight got a little blurry, things got a little rough, now
Yeah.
you start to challenge your vision. But what you're
Mm-hmm.
really talking about is you're challenging your belief system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're either gonna believe it or you're not. There's no such thing
Mm-hmm.
as like I only believe it as it happens,
Yeah.
because you have to walk it as you talk it, in other words. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of people struggle with it, really just struggle with faith. That's what
Yeah.
it comes down
That's
to.
big. That's big because vision is what you see with your eyes closed.
Exactly.
Sight is what you see with your eyes open. Like, this is reality. I see
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
So if you can't, because when you have vision, it can get blurry with sight. Like, I see what's going on in front of me. It don't look like what I envisioned. It looks nothing like what I envisioned. So
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna work towards what I saw with my eyes closed. But when you keep that vision, you're gonna, even when it gets blurry, even when you can't see it, you're gonna still push to it because you're past sight. Like what you were saying, like, yeah, it gets blurry, but when you have vision, you're still gonna go towards that. But if you
Look,
just have sight, when it's
yeah.
blurry, it's like, dang, it is what it is.
So I'm gonna give two examples. I'm sitting in my room, but I don't people can't see the picture, but like this is me proposing to my wife, right?
Yes, sir.
And my son is standing next to me, and Christian's in her belly, and I'm on my knee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the difference between vision and sight is
Yeah.
proven through this picture. When I got on my knee and said, I want to marry you, right? I had a vision of what my marriage was going to be like.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
it was up to me to go, okay, if I want to be married, I got to start preparing for marriage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So way before I got to my wife, I was already preparing to be a husband because I had faith that, and I envisioned that I was going to be a husband.
Yeah.
So I couldn't wait till I got a wife to go, oh yeah, now I'm ready to be a husband. I had to
Facts.
start
Yeah.
preparing.
Yeah.
So that way, when the season came, I was willing, ready, and able to step up to the plate. But that came from me having vision of what I wanted for myself. And look, it's just me on my knee. So if I was looking at it as sight, I'm just looking at it as like, I'm just proposing to a woman. But no,
Yeah.
I looked at it through vision when I proposed to her, like our
Mm.
kids, our future generations, and what we can do as a collective unit. And that's the difference between understanding that concept of like having a vision internally
That's
to make it
good.
externally prosperous.
That's good. And I think that's where a lot of hindrance with people come because they see their situation
Yeah.
and they don't look at how I can get through this because they don't see nothing past it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I feel so sad for people that's like in the hood
Yeah.
because they go by just, this all I know. This all I
Yeah.
see. All I
Yeah.
seen around me was jail. All I seen around me was stealing. All I seen around me was gang banging.
Yep.
And it's like, dang. And usually when you hear testimonies of people that make it out, it's like, yo, I saw in my head more than this.
I knew there was more. Yep.
I knew there was more than this. And there's so much people that don't. And it's like, dang, like all you needed was that little vision right there. And then just put that faith behind it to get you out of that situation.
Yeah, I think that's where productive men come into play though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Because
Yep.
all right. So I mean, one day we'll go into the leadership concepts, right? But
Yeah.
a leader specifically will always empower people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I'm a man that's going into the projects and I'm talking to a young man, I am going to empower him to want to get out of his situation. But the difference between a leader and someone who leads is a person that leads is going to show you how to get out the situation. A leader would just be like, hey, you know, there's something more. The grass is greener on the other
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Right. So when you consider true leadership, you have to consider those things. If you see a young man who's going down the wrong path
Yeah.
and you say, hey, you need to do better, you're actually doing him a disservice by not showing him how to do better.
Ooh.
Right. But it takes a man who has vision to actually lead through the storm and through the process and really be able to guide people into prosperity or and when I say prosperity, I don't always want it to be money. I'm just talking about
Yeah. Yeah.
mental stability.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't lead without vision. That they don't
Oh
if
yeah.
you can't lead without vision. That's irrelevant.
You don't know where you're going.
Yeah, you'll just be. It's like the what they use is sheep. Sheep are one of the dumbest animals ever, right? And people don't realize it, but sheep are the only animal that literally wants to follow.
Yeah,
They're
like
the
they're
only
just
animal that
made
just
to follow.
they just follow like blindly. So what happens is if you catch a sheep leading the sheep, which would probably be like, let's say hypothetically, if we were talking about, all right, so for example, if we're talking about a man who cheats on his wife, right? But then he's trying to guide young men into marriage, that's a sheep
Ooh.
leading sheep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're gonna lead him down the wrong road.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're talking about a man who has vision and he's looking at his future and like, okay, my family represents the next generation, and I need to make sure that I put them in the best position possible to be successful. Now, what do I need to do that? That's the type of person that you want to not listen to, but emulate. Because remember, people that lead, they lead by their actions, not by their words. So yeah,
that's good, because if you are with somebody that just has sight, it's gonna be hard for you. We talked about that unequally yoked thing. It's gonna be hard for you to even want to take that next step, because once again, when you have vision, you put yourself around people that want to do better.
Yeah. Yep.
If you're surrounded with people, like going back to the hood, people that just living this life, it's gonna be hard for you to want to do better. So, like Ron, he's from Brooklyn.
It's funny. I was just talking to Ron today.
Yeah,
literally was just talking to him today. But yeah,
thinking of Ron could have easily just went down the pathway, everything he saw around him.
Yeah.
He gravitated to something that was unorthodox. Trying to be a lawyer in Brooklyn. What did he do?
Yeah.
He sought out, what was it, the law groups in the school. Because he wanted better.
Yep.
He didn't just look at his surrounding like, okay, this is where I'm gonna be. And then he did the steps like, okay, I want to be a lawyer. What do I have to do? I have to prepare for the bar. Not just prepare for the bar. I'm gonna pass this thing on the first time. So what did he do? He went and got the extra help that he needed. He put the money towards the class that he needed to take, the extra teaching. That's vision alone, because the faith to put money towards something for a class that's going to help you towards a test, that takes faith. He had vision to saying, no, this is what I want. I'm going to put in the work and do the things that's going to lead me to that. With sight is like, dang, everybody failed that bar exam. Everybody I know that took it take them like 7 times. I ain't even gonna put my money towards it. I'm gonna just keep taking this until I pass it. That's just sight right there. But he knew, like, nah, I got a vision. I know what I want to do. I know the future that I want. I'm gonna put the money towards it, and I'm gonna be able to pass this thing on his first time. And this man passed him in the first time.
Yeah, he's actually not the only person I know that did that passed the bar. I don't know. You remember Dane? Dane passed it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He passed it on his first shot too. Brilliant. He beat all the odds as well. I mean, it's just one of those things. When it comes to vision, it's like this, right? Vision usually is something that seems impossible in a way.
Yeah.
It has a very impossible feel, but what happens is you become obsessed with your vision. It becomes an obsession. That's really that's why you go so above and beyond to accomplish it. Because think about it like this, right? If I was just to go based off my sight, right? And I can use myself because I enjoy using myself as a study. But okay, I had Cam at 19. Whew. Right? I became a father at 19 years old.
Okay. Crazy. Every time I hit, I'd be like,
so I could have been like, me and his mother didn't work out. You know, I messed up, whatever the case is. Like I said, I don't push blame on nobody. Accountability, right? Cool. If I was to go based off my sight, I'm gonna say I'm never gonna have another kid.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not gonna get married because there's potential of chaos to come from it.
Yeah.
Right. But because I had a vision of my future
Yeah.
and what I wanted for myself, and ultimately what it came down to is what I wanted for my son to see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I wanted him to see the right thing. So within that concept or that thought process, I was like, okay, I have to figure this thing out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the difference with a person who has vision and sight is the mind. Being
Yeah.
able to think with deep intellect and real understanding, like asking yourself the right questions, asking yourself the tough questions. Like one of the
Yeah.
questions I had to ask myself is, do you think you're a good father?
Ooh.
Right? I had to ask
Ooh.
myself that
Yeah.
because that was a real question for me to ask before I had another child. Because if I don't view myself as a good father, why would I father another child?
Wow.
You get what I mean? That's a
That's
tough
deep.
question,
That's
but
deep.
if I'm saying, yo, I have a vision of having a big family. Okay, well, before you have a big family, sir, are you a good father?
Ooh.
Are you
Ooh.
being a man of your word? Are you
Ooh.
raising your son with the proper moral values and in holding your not just raising him, but living the values so he sees it through you, right? That's one of the tough questions. Then you could even another tough question I had, like, could you be a good husband? I had to really ask him. I never seen a
I was
good
literally
husband.
gonna say that. Like
Yeah.
that's another thing. You didn't see a successful marriage in your home.
Exactly. So this is why these questions became so prominent
Mm-hmm.
before I could accept the vision that I have for myself. Because I'm like, listen, you can envision everything you want, right? But if you can't sustain it
Yeah.
for the longevity,
Yeah.
then all you're doing is you're creating a new generational curse.
Yeah. Yeah. You're an
So
example of your vision being stronger than your sight. Because the
yes,
sight is there.
yeah, size is
You
there.
saw it. You
Yeah,
saw it, but your vision was stronger.
yes,
And that's
yeah.
how you was able to overcome that.
You know what I did too a lot? I'm a big and I'm gonna bring up this other picture. So I got a picture of myself. I'm gonna just show you. You probably can't even see
Why
it.
you
You
have
know.
this picture?
Yo, because it just happened to be next to my bed, bro. Because I love my pictures. Y'all see that? See that little handsome young man right there? Y'all can't see it if y'all listening, but whatever.
Wait, hey.
But this my guy right here. This is my guy. I give him many kisses and hugs and tell him how much I love him. But that's actually me. So when I think about that boy, right, and I think about what I would say to him right now as a man,
Yeah.
I could speak to him through vision. Like,
Yeah.
hey, yo, listen here. This is what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
but I promise you, this situation is not gonna break you. I promise you,
Mm.
you're gonna learn through this process. I promise you, and I can speak through the vision instead
Yeah.
of through the sight. Because if I was to speak through
Yeah.
sight, I would say, if I was to speak through sight, I'd be like, chances of you being a good father, slim to none. You being a husband, probably not. And
Yeah.
you actually having morals, that thing, you might just check that out the window because your sight proved to you that that negativity is what you should have had, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I
Good.
said, it's asking those hard questions, man.
Yo, sight and vision, it can be the simplest thing. Like, for an example, I had a vision, like, we had this old playhouse that came with the house. Jones taught kids could not play on it. So we like, yo, we need to tear that down and get them a real playhouse. I'm like, okay. So then we found one. We got it. And it was in the back, but it was all broken down. And we knew it's going to take a lot of work to put this thing together for the kids. But we had a vision of them being able to be back there playing. Something as small as just a playground. So we like, yo, today we're going to put it together. Now, it's taking a lot of work and frustration to put it together. But what's pushing us to keep going, because at some point it's like, I don't know, this thing, I don't think it's gonna come together. This ain't fitting with this. It's like, but what pushes you to accomplish what you're trying to do is that vision. So the vision is like, yo, I see them out there just playing, having a good time, enjoying life. I never had this when I was a kid. So it's like, nah, I gotta get this done. So now you realize when you push through the end that you sit back like, and that's when that breather comes like, yeah, I'm glad I was able to push through it. And when you have sight, I could look at it like, you gotta put all that together. No, we're not doing it. No. I'm not gonna do that. But when you have that vision, it's like, no, I gotta do it because what the outcome of it is gonna be better than what I see right now.
Yeah, the outcome is better than the sum of the parts.
Yes,
The
yes.
outcome is always better than the sum of the parts. I wonder if people, it's a weird obsession that I have, but
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. I don't care. I'll say it because I don't care. But I have an obsession with like death, right? And it's not in a bad way, but it's more in a accountable way where
Okay.
I'm like I do this, I like I'll breathe, right? And I'll be
Yeah,
like, I know I only have so many of those,
yeah. I
right?
feel you.
Like I really only, I know there's a clock on that. So
Mhm.
so when I think about it, I'm like, I hope that I sustain enough energy and mental focusness to accomplish my vision before my breath runs out,
Mm,
right?
mm.
And it's almost like that vision of making sure your, you know, like the great grandkids is good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That becomes such a driving force, but a lot of people don't talk about death because they think of it in a negative aspect. Me,
yeah.
I don't really, when I say obsession, I just mean in the sense of I got to get this done,
Mm,
right?
mm.
Because I would be more disappointed in myself if I didn't get what I envisioned done. If I like put like if I didn't get what I had envisioned completed,
Yeah.
and then my kids had to finish it up,
Mm-hmm.
I would feel like insignificant in a way, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like they could, if I would have just accomplished what I needed to accomplish, they
Mm-hmm.
could have just stepped on that and took it to
Yeah,
another height. And then
yeah,
they right.
yeah.
So the obsession with death isn't to scare people or anything like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
Ak is wild and he thinking about
Yeah,
suicide. Like, nah, nothing like
yeah.
that. It's just being mindful of
Mm-hmm.
time and not
Yeah,
taking it for granted. So understanding that concept of time and there's a time limit,
yeah.
it becomes a
Everybody.
thing where vision becomes super, extremely important,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Mm-hmm.
one thing we could touch on too is how vision governs your actions
Yeah,
according to what you do, who you hang out with,
yeah.
how you speak. Vision literally structures your life and
Mm.
puts you in the right element, if that's the
And
best way.
it's crazy how you said that because even within that, you added something almost like I would call like a backup plan, where something we don't talk about in our community, life insurance.
Yeah.
So it's like, even though if I'm not able to do what I feel like I need to do, I'm still looking at the future for my family, whether if I'm here or not,
Exactly.
with that life insurance, because you have vision. Like, I don't want, when I'm gone, none of my kids that have to deal with things that I left behind. They're gonna be able to move forward, and it's real. Like, life insurance is a real thing, and we don't talk about it. And it's very important because people that just have sight, like, yo, I'm here, I gotta do what I gotta do, then I'm gone. But then they don't realize, what about your family that you left behind?
Hmm.
There's still bills that's gonna be like life still goes on when you're gone.
Sun still goes up, moon still
You know
comes
what I'm
out.
saying? So that also comes with vision, knowing
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm not gonna be here forever. Let's be real.
Hmm.
And then you take care of those things to that. When I'm not here, they'll be okay.
One thing I heard that was really dumb. I'm not gonna bring the person up, but they said it was really stupid. They rode motorcycles. It wasn't you, it was somebody else that I know.
Um,
And he was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna stop." I said, "Yo, you got two kids. You still ride a motorcycle. It's risky, boy. You might want
mhm.
to calm down." I can't stop living my life because I got kids. I said, "What?" I said, "Oh wow, all right."
Now
You know, you know
wait,
that was
you
huh?
joking?
Nah, I swear nothing. You know that was the I didn't even go in. I was at I'm not gonna say where I was at, but I was somewhere else, so I didn't really tap into it. But I was just like, dang, I thought about that. I'm like, listen, I get you want to have fun, and that's cute, right?
Wow.
But the whole concept of, oh, I'm gonna die eventually, yeah, but you don't put yourself in a situation where dying is more prone, right? I'm not gonna increase my dying percentages by 50% by going into a shootout, right? I'm not playing Russian roulette with
Yo,
my life.
yo, that's wild.
We were like, we cool, but we not that cool for me to be, you know, saying what I thought.
That's a perfect example of sight.
Sight 101.
Perfect example of sight. Like, bruh, sight 101. I'm not gonna stop living my life because I had kids.
Yeah, bro, it was crazy. I said, oh man, I was like, all right, I just let it be.
If y'all needed an example of what sight is, that's exactly what that is.
There you go. And this happened like 3 or 4 weeks ago too. That's the crazy thing. But
boy, and I did the exact opposite. I was like, I need to stop riding motorcycles because I have kids.
Yeah, I know. I thought about you when he said it too. And he got, you know, those fast bikes, them joints moving. But listen, man, I don't know. Like I said, it's just one of those things. You only can hope,
yeah,
and have faith that you're gonna accomplish everything you need to accomplish, right? You can only put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as long as you do that, when you close your eyes for good, you're gonna feel a sense of peace to a certain extent, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can only pray that your kids bury you. You know, that's like the ultimate. I'm not saying the end goal, but that's what you pray for, you know. But being able to put them in a situation where, you know, they could be ahead of the 8 ball and really excel. You know, tap into that vision, man. Don't sleep on that. Really put some deep thought. And I know a lot of people don't like, I don't want to say a lot of people don't like thinking, but a lot of people don't like critical thinking. There we go. Critical thinking, where you really put some deep time and thought into life. And you'll be surprised what you come up with, right? You know, ask yourself the tough questions, and hopefully your vision can be your passion, and then your passion could be your career. And you could leave something greater for, you know, the people who you love. Feel me?
That's a fact. And through that process, we didn't really touch on it, but y'all know, if you've been watching, y'all know how we operate.
Faith only, you dig?
Faith only. And you know what I say, keeping God before anything. But through this process, that's how, if you don't have vision, that's the best way to receive it.
Yo, would you say, I was gonna ask you a question. Would you say that people who lack vision lack a relationship with God? Would you say that?
I would. Because if you're constantly seeking him, your creator, you're going to be constantly in a place where your vision is going to grow.
So, all right, so let me ask you a question, right? Even with that. So there are a lot of successful people who have visions.
Yeah.
But they don't have a relationship with God, but they're successful. Right? I think I would like to think that visions that empower others is from God.
Oh yeah.
Visions that are self-fulfilling, that's a I don't want to call it immoral, but it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's dang, I can't think of the word.
I can give you a word. People might not really get it, but selfish ambition.
Selfish ambition. That's perfect. That's exactly what I was saying. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Vision it's a generational impact for others. When you're just doing things, you know, I get the bag, this and that, and the whole thing, that's selfish ambition. And
I guarantee you that you're not living your purpose.
Exactly. Because remember, it's not always about finances. I mean, granted, yes, we need money to live successful, boom, boom, the whole nine. But just that's why I was asking. Because I mean, you could look at a lot of entertainers.
Yeah.
They had a vision of themselves being rappers or actors or whatever.
Oh, wait. Don't go too far, because this is gonna be perfect when we do the episode. We're gonna do success versus successful.
Oh, yeah. So we'll just leave it at that.
We're gonna have to. You good thing you brought it up, because we're gonna have to do that.
All right. So then we'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying?
But we're gonna have to do that, so we can break it down, because everybody thinks success is he's successful. You sure?
Yeah,
we're gonna break that down.
Just like the person that leads and the leader are two different things.
Ooh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? They definitely align.
All right, so I'll leave it alone. I won't even touch on it. You know, made me stop. Plus, it's 30 minutes. It's over.
You already know. Keep God before anything. Through this whole process, keep God before anything. He will help you through this.
That's a fact. Listen, strive for perfection. Don't use me being a human as an excuse. Stop using that as I'm human. Yeah, that's good. But you can also seek perfection. And if you fall short, it's cool. At least you will be excellent We'll holler at y'all next week.
Ooh, ooh.
Later. Oh gosh, I'm so annoying.